2023 and 2024 were the years for let's all do AI, let's experiment. And 2025, I think, is going to be the year when we start seeing some actual implementation towards artificial intelligence within multiple spheres, talent acquisition included. But we wanted to take a step back and look at an honest, genuine journey review from one of our guests who has been pretty transparent about what it's actually like to take a look into AI within the TA space. So here's a little bit of what's coming up from today's episode.
I think AI is not yet ready to replace people, and this is one of the most fears that people have, like, oh no, I have to do this because if not I will be replaced by a program. No, if you are smart enough, you can use AI, be friend of AI, and also using that to advantage. Sometimes it's more efficient or more important to people to have great values, to have work-life balance, like another thing that you can attract or gain or sell the company. So participating in different events, it brings you a big panorama how a full business is working, and not just your own career or your own department and just be focused on that. Yes, you have to be focused, but you also have, at least in my opinion, to have a big panorama how things works.
This is definitely not an episode where we're going to suggest tools where you're going to make a game changer in your process by implementing something, but rather this is an honest overview about how she decided to start seriously looking into AI, how she begun her journey through all the various tools out there, how she started to make some maneuvers. And there's some really specific insights that I've never heard from somebody else. So I do highly recommend you pay attention in this and understand not just how she's done it, but how you can take your own journey into AI. Because let's be honest, AI is here to stay. And the sooner we all accept it, which most of us are, and the sooner we start utilizing it, which most of us are trying, then the better it's going to be for everyone, candidates, the hiring managers, and of course our careers. So hopefully there's something for you to take away from today's episode. Welcome to Tea Time with Talent Acquisition, the podcast aimed at fostering knowledge and sharing stories within the vibrant talent acquisition community. I'm your host, Eden, and for the next hour or so, I'm going to be joined by a seasoned TA and HR expert with over a decade of experience. Known for her ability to infuse efficiency, autonomy into every aspect of her work, passion for continuous improvement has consistently led to better outcomes, streamlined processes, and sustainable growth for the organizations that she's supported throughout her career. With a key eye for new industry best practices, she's embraced the opportunity presented by AI, embarking on her own unique journey of discovery. And today she's going to share some of the valuable insights that she's gained along this journey, supporting each of us in our own definition of what AI and the AI journey means throughout 2025. So when you're ready, grab your favorite tea or coffee if you prefer, and join me in welcoming today's guest, the lead talent acquisition specialist at Wunderdog, Victoria Zambrano. So thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. And well, I hope someone is interested in listening to me.
100%. And I think the topic of AI is so broad and vast. And I'm really appreciative of the fact that someone's willing to say, this is what I know, this is what I've experienced, because, and we'll get into the nitty gritty of it, but I think everyone wants to try and claim they know what's happening, and, but no one's willing to say really, no one's willing to bet their own kind of career on what they've learned. It's just more about repeating what other people are saying over and over and over and over again. And you see one post go up about one tool and then 15 people comment around saying, oh my God, this is the best tool ever. It's like, is it? Have you really tried it? So I'm really appreciative, like I said, that you're willing to kind of not necessarily say what tools, but at least how you've gone on your journey and what you've experienced, and to kind of show that to every person who's listening that it is an individual journey. Before we do that, Victoria, I'm curious because I like to have a little teaser question, as it were, and everyone who listens on a frequent basis probably should know this by now. So from your own perspective, what do you feel makes a high-performing recruitment team?
Well, I don't consider myself like a super specialist or that I know everything. I am all the time looking the best ATAs, the best platform, the way to do the things, the best way to make people understand what is the importance, the potential, the things that they have to like see and understand and hear from the candidates. So there's no one way, I think. I use different ATAs or platforms for posting job offers, or also to reach people, because it depends on the country that you are looking, that is the tool or platform that you are going to use. For example, if you are in Spain, you are going to use maybe more Factorial HR. If you are in Germany, maybe you use more LinkedIn. We know, or at least the most of the people know or have this understanding, that LinkedIn is maybe the main tool that everyone put their CVs or the experience there. And maybe, yes, it is like a easy way to reach or hunting people, but it's not the only one. And also, sometimes it's complicated because not all the people know how to do a proper CV. So when the sourcer or the recruiter is doing the method of booleans, for example, that you use some words specific with some AI like tools or words, or like, I don't know, apostrophe or something like that. Like there's a lot of algorithms in LinkedIn and other tools also. It's super important that the people understand how to do the CV correctly and which things they have to put or use in their CV, so they have more exposure about what is their real knowledge, right? So yes, I mean, I have, I don't know, like now 13, 15 years working as a human resources and also a recruiter. The last 5 years, I was more like in the IT recruitment and everything regarding AI and how to improve AI in the methods, in the processes, in the different companies. Sometimes, I don't know, some companies don't have AI and they just think that AI is just numbers, and it's not only that. And also, I think that it's super important to know how to use AI like wisely, because AI, we know that it can be used like for bad things or good things. We try to not be a replacement of or maybe that the company replace us, because I think AI is not yet ready to replace people, and this is one of the most fears that people have. Like, oh no, I have to do this because if not, I will be replaced by a program.
Yeah.
No, if you are smart enough, you can use AI, be friends of AI, and also using that to advantage.
So
So
we'll go into that, because the topic of fear was something I was actually quite curious about, because I went to a conference recently, or an event recently, and I mean, literally everyone was talking about AI, and you could definitely see kind of people thinking, okay, is it going to take our jobs? Is it not? Yada, yada, yada. So I'm curious to hear your perspective on that. But to pin it back, so essentially, to make a successful team from your perspective is for the team to utilize whatever tools are right for that organization in that location that you're hiring at, and be receptive to kind of broaden what experiences, broaden your tool base to kind of draw in more applicants that way, and not just rely on one particular tool like LinkedIn over and over again.
yes, indeed. And also, I think that the best way to have a good process or be a high performance team is to accept that you are going to fail. You are going to fail a
Mm-hmm.
lot. And from the fails, you are going to learn and then do it better and better. I think I have a lot of mistakes. I have a lot of failures in my career. I have some companies that I don't feel that was aligned with my own values, for example, and I just stay because I need a salary. But it's okay that, and it's okay to be in some companies that you don't like to learn. But my advice is, don't stay there if you don't like it. Just try to find a company that have the values and the way of working that you like, because then you are going to be much more productive, and you will have your journey like a more happy journey. It's like, yes, of course we need like money to survive and to live and to pay the rent, like we are normal people, But also it's good if people, or at least in my case now, I find a company that I really like the work-life balance that I have. I really like that it's a tech company and they try to put AI in all our processes, like not just only in recruitment, that is my task, my mainly task, like responsible to do this or to like know the company, how to use it. And also I do a lot of manuals and I don't know, like video explaining things. And also I am not in HR, but I am also helping there. So this company, I like it, but because they give you the chance to do everything you want. They listen to you. They listen your opinions. We are like a creative company, so we all the time propose, but those proposals are not going to be always valid or successful. Like we are going to try and see, and it's failure, trust failure, and then yeah, somehow or someday it's going to work. One of your ideas or ideas of the team. And for example, I taste now different tools, like for example, 1 month, and see what is working with me in the process or what I want to reach. I don't find anything that is like that what I want to. So maybe I design it, maybe I build it. Who knows? They are always open. So I think that is super important to have a good journey and to be happy in your job. Find something that is like similar to your values, and the thing for me is in the company that you can grow. I think that is the way. Like continue growing all the time is super important
So
because it maintains
talking
you.
about journeys, right? So your journey into AI, what kickstarted it? What made you go, yeah, I need to learn more there. Like I need to focus on that. What was kind of the, I don't know, the Kickstarter, the post, the video, the question. What was it that made you go, I need to absorb this?
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't study anything of software engineer or something like that. I studied Bachelor of Human Resources, and now I am sourcing people that they know a lot of like information on TA or AI, and I have to be at least or try to be in those levels to be able to interview them, to be able to understand what they are saying, and of course working with a team that is super technology and they propose AI solutions all the time to the clients and also inside the company. Um, Gives me a lot of information and a lot of like motivation to go and find it, to go and I don't know, use ChatGPT. That is my case at least all the time for everything. Just I have a question and I go to ChatGPT. I don't use Google Translate. I go to ChatGPT.
Yeah, the phrase Google it, I think is going to die a very quick death now. Just
yeah,
chat it. So yours was driven by the fact you had a team around you. Your peers were, I mean, it's a consultancy, right? So your peers were going to customers and proposing solutions using AI, proposing solutions back in. So you're hearing it around you, and you're going, okay, I need to learn that. That's kind of like the driver for you, or the motivator that started this kind of learning period.
exactly. And I, for example, ask my co-founders, like the directors, look, I want to assist to events. To, for example, this is the goal for next year. I want to assist to these events of human resources and recruitment, and also, for example, marketing and sales. Why? Because I need to know what is in the market. If I understand what is in the
Mm.
market, then I know how to find more good candidates, more potential, or help my candidates then when they are in-house, like as employees, help them to say like, hey, look this tool, look this platform. Why don't you search information regarding this? Maybe you can use it in your client. So
So
now I
your
have,
journey wasn't just TA or HR. You've kind of gone, just learn as much and just take it all in, and then take the best bits from here, and here, and then kind of embed it into your process internally.
yes, now I am more like networking people, helping others, and also helping myself. I mean, I have information from my colleagues for, I don't know, like what happened with some stocks, for example. Oh, do you know this airline that have a mistake in the software and now the stocks go down? wow, amazing. I like stocks. And then I go and read what was happening. It's like it's a lot
Market
of information.
manipulation is not a good thing. Let's say that one. You're
Yeah,
looking at issues in prospective stock crashes,
yeah, but
buying when they're going down. Okay, all right. Well, that's a
everything.
separate conversation. We won't. If anyone's in law enforcement, please don't arrest you. No, I'm joking. So when you begun, right, the journey of AI, I think, and this is what kind of stops, I think, a lot of people. Two parts. One is the fear, which you've already discussed slightly, so we'll touch upon that, but also is the sheer volume. And I think as now we're recording this in December 24. And I think now it's probably like every other week I'm seeing a new improved AI tool on the market, right? There's
Yeah,
so much noise. Every other post is AI. And like I think again on LinkedIn, if any way you want to get likes and comments now is just say something slightly out there around AI, and it's like, oh no, not this, not that.
see.
So there's all this noise. There's all these conferences. There's just so much, and then you always have like this paralysis of where do I begin? So tell me a little bit about kind of how did you start your journey? And do you have any specific recommendations where other people might just want to start a little bit easy? Don't just dive head first into 15 conferences in the next year, but just want to start a little bit here, a little bit there. Um, Tell me a little bit kind of how you begun.
Yes, I began, I think, like asking people, talking with CTOs, talking with founders, talking with like general managers. But now I know that I can do it because I know that I have the knowledge. I believe in myself. I think that is super important. Like just believe in yourself, and if you want to chase something, go and do it. That is my advice. How to do it? I think everyone has to know and find their own path because I am not a shame person, so I go and just ask and talk to people. And I say, I don't know, I was in an event, and I went to the people that was in the panel and said like, hey, can I talk to you like 5 minutes, please? And something happened in the talk, and it's super interesting. And maybe after that, there's a lot of things or opportunities to work together, or I don't know, I have like maybe software engineers or colleagues or marketing people that can help them. It's like everything is regarding network. And yes, it's true that a lot of people talk about maybe data and how to do it and how to improve this in the processes, but they are companies that they are super big and super huge and have big teams, and you don't have every time that. Sometimes you
Yeah.
just have to do it yourself, or sometimes you have two people. And I know there is a lot of burnout of people that say like, yes, we want to do this, but we are few people and the company doesn't give us budget. I don't think
Hmm.
that everything's regarding budget or as much people to do things. Maybe you can find ways to do it in a small team, but you have to think and have like I don't know, brainstorming or talk with people to gain more perspective how to do things. Um, if you are a junior, for example, I think that the best way to start is to participate to the events, talk with people in human resources, uh, understand what you want in life or how is your career going or where is your path or your what you want to do in your life, what you like to do. And so I don't know, I know a lot of people that maybe study economics and now they are doing sales or they are doing purchasing or they are maybe in human resources. So it's not always what you study what you are going to do. For example, me, I study human resources and now I am more strategic and more like maybe I want to go to sales because I like to talk with people. I like to have a big network and I like to help people. I like to sell something where I believe in. So I think everything changed, and also with the AI, everything is changing. And I believe that there's a lot of works or tasks that maybe are super operational or manually, and they are moving forward to be more agile or with a mindset uh, thinking in the future or thinking how to use this technology to improve processes, to improve time. But on the other hand, we don't have to lose the importance of humanity, for example. because for a lot of people, and in my case, for a lot of engineers or software developers, it's still important and they count, that they are not just a number, that their opinion
Precisely.
counts.
Mhm.
So it depends. But for studying, just to be brave and do fails, I don't know.
So the networking part and pushing yourself, speaking to people, and just no such thing as a stupid question. That's really how you just started to absorb, learn from one person, see if you could make a connection, and kind of take it from there.
Yes, and also if you don't know something, you can say like, no, I don't know what you are talking about. Can you please explain me, or
Yeah.
where I can find this information? Like, it's nothing wrong to not know. I think that you
And
are
you're
more.
pushing yourself, sorry, you're pushing yourself outside of your current company because you use the phrase CTOs. So you proactively go into market and speaking to CTOs outside of Wunderdog, or are you speaking to your CTO?
In both cases. I talk with my
Okay.
CTO and also I talk with other CTOs. And I think that there's people in high, maybe positions that they don't know what they are doing, but they are there.
I
And
love
they
the
are,
fact, by the way, that I love the fact you went to different types of conferences and it
yeah,
wasn't just TA related because I've been to a few TA ones and I find it's the same message repeated. And coming back to the things you see on LinkedIn, it's the same. And then maybe it's because that's where my network is. I see the same faces. And I think, to be fair, people who see the podcast probably see my face alongside two or three of the same people every week anyway. So I get it. But I love the fact that you've actually gone further afield and said, okay, what can I borrow from marketing? Are there any tools there that we can use from sales? Can I embed that here? Because you're seeing AI not just as how can I use AI in talent acquisition, but you're looking at AI as an overall area and thinking, okay, how can we worm it into TA because of that? It's a really different outlook. A lot of people kind of, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I don't get that sense when I'm speaking to people. I feel like it's always the same conversation of how do we do it for candidate experience? How do we do it for this, that, and the other? It's like, but you're kind of seeing it as a bigger picture.
yes, I see more as a big picture because I think that everything is connected. And for
Yeah,
example, I don't know, TikTok, for example, is more marketing than other things. In human resources and in recruitment, they have the same processes that all the other companies. There's nothing new. So they are not
yeah,
maybe innovative in that way. Maybe something different changes, but it's not like, oh, TikTok has an amazing recruitment. No, it's like everything is the same because you are talking about persons, you are talking about like human beings. So you have to understand how the business works. So if I want to, in my part of talent acquisition leader, I want to do more marketing. I have to learn what is marketing, what brain is the marketing people working,
yeah.
how a CMO thinks, why he's creating, why he all the time have new solution or new things to do the same, how to sell more. And I think like recruitment is a little bit the same because we have a lot of competence in the market. So what you are going to give to your employees that is different to another company. And maybe you don't have a lot of budget or salary to offer because it's like limited at some point. You have a budget. And sometimes it's more efficient or more important to people to have great values, to have work-life balance, like another thing that you can attract or gain or sell
Yeah.
the company. So participating in different events as marketing, e-commerce, I don't know, macro and microeconomy also events of law, for example, it brings you a big panorama how a full business is working and not just your own career or your own department and just be focused on that. Yes, you have to be focused, but you also have, at least in my opinion, to have a big panorama how things works.
It also helps with the big question mark of moving from recruitment as a service provider to your business, but also to a business partner. If you can come back to them with various solutions to different parts of the business, even if it's not a complete solution, it's an idea that sparks something and allows them to grow, then you're adding more value as a recruiter. Um, I think I might know the answer based on how you're answering, but please tell me. So, did you ever get that fear paralysis? You know, when you started this journey, did you ever sit there and think, holy shit, I might be out of a job at the end of this, but I'm going to go explore it anyways because, you know, at the beginning of 2024, I think everyone was saying jobs will be gone. We're all just going to be sitting there watching Netflix by the end of the year. So, did you ever have that, or was it you didn't really see it as a fear element?
No, yes, yes, of course. I all the time say like, oh, I don't know anything about this. Well, I just go whatever. What is the problem? If something wrong happen? Um, but yes, I sometimes I am there and I don't understand anything. It's like I don't understand what they are talking about. I don't understand what is happening, maybe in different countries, or maybe they talk about politic things, and I don't understand. But I just go there, and with time, then you learn, and maybe I take notes, and then I just get information. I mean, if you are a cultural person and you are interested in know things, nothing can stop you.
So, from your journey right so far, the conferences you've been to, the videos you've listened, watched, sorry, the people you've spoken to, where do you feel AI is going to benefit talent acquisition process the most when we adopt that kind of into that area? It doesn't need to be a specific tool, but if you do have one, great. But if not, but more of like kind of yeah, just how do you think it's going to make our jobs a little bit easier?
Well, I didn't find yet a tool that is really that is working 100%. I think at the moment you need at least two or three ATAs or platform to have really good maybe sourcing or process. I don't believe that, for example, the AI has to be involved in the interviews, for example, because you lost this humanity that I think that is still important, and I don't think that AI is going to replace that. And also the criteria that you have when you are recruiting people. It's like something when you talk, how the people talk, how the people communicate, how the people uh, talk with confidence, or maybe the languages if you are testing that. Some things are still not going to be replaced by AI. And for some companies,
But
it's
just sorry, just to jump in there, you're talking about a AI doing the interview. You're not
doing the
referring to a
interview.
note taker, right?
Exactly, yes. AI doing the
What?
interviews, or
No.
at least like some questions. For example, I was talking with some um, new connections that I have, and they are designing this, and I test them. And one of the parts is like, okay, like AI or like a robot call you and do the first interview. And I don't think that that is good, because for the other side, like the candidate side, they will see it as a loss of time. If they are really good candidates or senior or have experience, they are not going to waste time in that. Because if
I
they
disagree on this one.
are
I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm throwing it out there. But I agree with your thought process. You and I come from the same area in the sense we're dealing with highly skilled workers, right? We're both looking for the same talents. We're looking for senior software engineers.
yes,
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. That's not going to work there. But
no,
warehouse
because
operations.
I already
I'm
talked with them.
talking seasonal workers in a warehouse, in an Amazon fulfillment center.
Exactly. I mean,
Something there would be better. I see it
yeah,
working in something like that where it's less the skill and it's more sometimes you just need bodies and you know what you're getting. And I've spoken to people in fulfillment centers who do 200 hires a year, but they've spent so many hours interviewing. Like that could easily automate that. I mean, again, I'm just throwing my hand up on that one. I think it could work.
I mean, in the future, I think that is going to be accepted. Nowadays, it's not accepted. Nowadays, I talk with a lot of software engineers, and I asked them this because I was taking my analysis from them. Um, and they say, like, I don't like to waste time doing an interview with a
Yeah.
robot that I don't know. At least if I am going to give my time when I have a lot of time, I prefer to talk with a person.
Yeah. So that side, like I said, the highly skilled workers, yeah, I wouldn't trust an
yeah,
AI to interview a principal
but
engineer, for example.
exactly. But maybe, because I was talking with some people, and maybe if, for example, me, Victoria Zambrano, film a video saying like, "Hey, hello, this is Wonder Dog.
Yeah.
I blah blah blah," like a little information, and I'm sorry I'm not here present because I have like a lot of work. The next stage you will talk to me on live, but now please fulfill this question that this robot is going to do for you. Thank you very much. And then maybe then it's different.
Mm. I'd
You
like to
put a
see the
little
pilot.
pressure. What?
Yeah, I'd like to see someone pilot something like that to see, A/B test the results out of it. Because I think there's still you're like softening the blow of, hey, you're going to speak to a robot, but there is actually a person here somewhere. Um, what's your take on note-taking tools that record the session?
Uh, what tools yes and what tools not?
No, what do you think of them in general? Note-taking tools. Do you like them? Do you not care for them?
I have a lot of tools, but honestly, the most I use is LinkedIn because it's the most easy for me, at least for the position that I have. For me, it's the most easy, and I don't have like to fulfill 200 positions in 1 month. So for me now, LinkedIn is the best. But when you have like more position at the same time, maybe it's not the best. Um, I don't know how some companies, for example, I don't know, like Manpower or Adecor, like big companies that are big consultancies that have a lot of clients and high demand, how they manage it. And I worked in Accenture, for example, 3 months, and then I wasn't able to continue anymore because I don't like it. But I don't like it to be treated like a number. That was my main. But the processes are all the same. I don't see that they are really using AI at some point. And
Yeah.
sometimes the data that they use is more to present to the, I don't know, to the founders or co-founders or the associates, but it's not really to help to the department. So for me, it doesn't make sense to do data just because to do it. If you do data, if you have analysis, that is super important to do something. If you don't do anything with that, it doesn't make any sense for me, at least. I think that a lot of people waste a lot of time doing data and doing analysis and doing like Excels and for nothing. It's like you can be using those time to maybe more hiring and having good interviews with more time, not just, oh, it's time, I have to jump to another meeting. No, it's like maybe you can waste that time of doing the data to something that is more important, like having a good conversation or doing maybe I don't know, like a career structure of growth of the team to really see which skills they know, which skills they have to um, get to know better, or how they can improve themselves, or maybe do certification. I don't know. There's much more things that are important just to use data for nothing. I really
You are, by
appreciate.
the way, you are speaking to a data junkie. So I
Sorry.
am curious. No. Everyone has their opinion. That's absolutely fine. That's why I didn't want to step on your toes too quick. But you are speaking to someone who lives and dies by the data sword. I use it for everything. But as an external, I have to. I have to convince companies when I think they're wrong. But I have to show them through data. That's my analogy or methodology to it. So just to backtrack a second, when I was talking about tools, I was referring to note takers. So when you're on a call with a candidate, do you use a system that records that call and creates the notes for you, or do you do that manually?
I do it manually. I used it
Okay.
some tools to record, but I don't think that it was worth it. Um,
Explain to me why, if you don't mind, because this is a conversation we had in the office today, because we was talking about your episode was coming up.
okay.
And one of my colleagues asked, basically said, can you find out if he's used them? Because we were looking at it. We've got our opinion, and I'm just curious to hear what yours is. I'll share mine after.
Yeah. No, I don't use it. I do it manually because when I am doing the interview with them, I write it everything.
Yeah,
And then I will read it, and then I make a summary to present that candidate to the client, for example. So if I miss some information that maybe the tool doesn't record it, I will get crazy. So I prefer to do it my own. I know there are some tools that yes, they record it, and also in the interviews, and they record it like very good. I tried, and they say everything or translate everything that I say. But I don't use it myself. I prefer to do it manually. I trust more in doing manually, and also I don't follow a structure when I interview. I don't do the same question to everyone. I just want to really know the person, what they like, what they dislike, how they talk. And if I just follow a structure, I don't feel that I can get that he has something that I don't know what, but it makes me be
yeah,
interested in like the potential. I can see the
yeah,
potential
yeah.
if I use these tools because it has to be like structure questions or have like maybe I don't know a road or something like that. You can jump one on the other, and maybe in the conversation you have to jump. You have to follow. It's not like wait, I have to ask you now this. No, I try to the conversation be more informal because I want the candidate feel super comfortable to not be shy or not be like freezing or blocking themselves. So I give them the best scenario possible to them feel comfortable. I was in their positions a lot of times, maybe thousands of times, and I treat them as I would like to be treated in an interview. I don't know. I'm super soft person in that way, so I am empathy with them, and I know what it's to
Well,
be.
it's that pre-screen part that you've just said at the end there, which is exactly what we've thought. So going back to the event that I went to, a lot of people were for tools like MetaView, right? And MetaView, I think, is the most prominent one where you put your list up there and it answers it for you as you go. It works when you've got a client, I think. When you've got a job order to take, when you've got a project to take, when you've got a piece of work that you do not want to miss information, and the client, whoever it is, project manager, product manager, CTO, is aware because you're talking facts. There's not really anything you can deviate. Works brilliantly there. Candidates, I actually think it's going to be probably one of the biggest mistakes people embed into their tech. I'm throwing it out there. One of the biggest mistakes you can put into a tech stack for a TA, because you're stopping people from being authentic. The moment they know they're being recorded, they're not going to be honest with you, and I can guarantee that it's going to make everyone just this beige candidate, and you need color in your life. And all you're going to get is nothing of genuine value until they start. And that's when your interview process is going to start, and it's going to cost a ridiculous amount. But the problem you have is that everyone is screaming about how good it is. But has anyone asked the candidate, and has anyone done the data behind it to say what the drop-off rates are? What for example, the happiness ratings at the end, things like that. Because I can't see it happening. And in Germany, obviously, where we both recruit for, you have to ask, are you
Yeah,
happy to be recording? I've had people drop off the call saying no, and I've lost the chance to speak to that candidate because of a tool. And so we just basically blocked it. We're like, no, we're not touching it. We'll do it manual.
yeah, exactly.
So I think we're on the same page.
Exactly. And also, for example, in the questionnaires or the quizzes that we use, I prefer to be anonymous. And yes, maybe if
Yeah,
someone says something bad, I prefer the truth because with the truth, I can
100%.
like work and do better. If just people say like, oh no, I will say this because I don't want to my bonus be touched or my career is drop off because I say something bad. Like someone is going to know that I say that. So when I do, for example, questionnaires or quizzes to my employees now and also in my previous companies, I always convince the manager that it should be 100% anonymous. And if not, I say like, okay, then I don't do it, because people are not going to say the truth if they know that their names appear that they are. And it's something that I learned from Great Place to Work. I don't know if you know the company.
Right place to work.
Yes.
I've heard of it. I'm gonna have whilst you're saying this, I'm gonna have a quick Google.
Good.
Right place to work. Oh, is
Uh,
this the they do like the awards each year?
yeah, exactly. Great Place to Work is one of the 100 best places to work.
That's it.
I
Yeah.
I I want to participate in with one of my companies in the past, and I have to fulfill a lot of things. You have to reach a lot of targets, so it's not easy. So I clap to the companies that are there, because it's really good. They are super human, well-being care, and that is amazing. But if you want
Well,
to, if you're
go on.
listening and have a company, go to Great Place to Work, ask them what is the standards, and then you can maybe reach it.
I'll find some links for some contacts in case anyone wants to find it. Um,
Yeah.
Victoria, I'm curious, right? So just to wrap this up, from your side, anyone who's starting 2025 with an interest into AI, but still listening to this going, oh my God, there's still so much to explore. What's the number one thing you'd recommend they do? Just as soon as they get off this podcast, go do this. What do you suggest?
Don't stay in a company just because of the salary. Go to a company that you like to work because you are happy in, and you can still grow in the company. And if you are not growing enough, just change. Change, change, change. Changing is the
Right.
only way to learn. And if you are in 2025 and you like AI, keep going and keep looking for information, because it's everything new, and all the time there are going to be new things. If you are a woman and you are doubting of, oh, I don't know, software engineer, TI is super complicated, just start, try to learn, see videos in YouTube, in TikTok, regarding these tools or regarding this topic. Ask for people. Also, people can reach me in LinkedIn and ask me how to do it, and I will try to, in my little time that I have, to answer everything. If you want to learn, go to, I don't know, Concursera, and that is a place of platform. There are a lot of courses there that are for free. Also in LinkedIn, you can reach a lot of courses. I do like negotiation, how to build agile teams, how to, I don't know, think like strategic thinking, mindset. I don't know. There's a lot of things that you can learn. It's not just like, oh, I have to have a degree. There's a lot of people that are successful, and they don't have a degree or a bachelor or whatever, and they just are super intelligent. I know a lot of people that have like companies, and they maybe don't have a title, but they just are people hungry of knowledge.
So
So
push yourself, don't stay put in the same company, and keep growing. That's
it's
uh
so
that's the
sad.
takeaway. And you've already answered my next question. I was going to say if people want to pick up the conversation with you further, where can we find you? But you've already answered it. So LinkedIn, I'll pop your handle into the description of this as well. But Victoria, I really appreciate you, like I said, being very transparent and being honest about your journey, and you hit the nail on the head earlier on. That this is unique to everyone, and what works for you might not necessarily be right, especially as you're quite open-minded to talk to people and talk. So it's always about finding what works for you. But hopefully, it's going to spark more curiosity from people. But thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for the space. And yes, of course, I am super happy on being here and talk about a little bit of my journey or what are my thoughts, because yes, it's my thoughts all about this or my experience. Sometimes work, sometimes not. But yes, if someone needs information, they can reach me on LinkedIn. I am open to share everything. And thank you again, Eden, for the space.
Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you very
Bye
much.
bye.